Namaste, my beautiful queens, kings, if any. In this reading, I had this impulse, this calling to do a reading using Osho Zen deck, and the messages from those people you love, but who are no longer in physical with you, those who are in the realm of spirit. I want them to send you a message, and I want to convey this message using Osho Zen Tarot. Please understand, I only convey the message. Whatever message is going to come, I will tell that message. So how I want to do that? I will put down 5 cards. If you have only one person in the realm of spirit who you want to ask for an advice, just general advice, or an advice for this specific situation, please choose the card for this person or this situation. If you have more than one such beings who you knew in your physical life, but who are no longer in physical with you, and you want to ask them for an advice or solution or a hint, or the something to help you to decide what to do, then you can assign, for example, card number 1, let it be my grandmother. Message from my grandmother. Card number 2, may it be a message from my grandpa, or whoever it is. And if you want to ask a specific question, then do this. May card number 1 be the message from my grandmother about my spiritual path, or number 2, may it be a message from my grandpa about my career choices or my love life. So anyhow you want, you can assign 1 card. Just please assign 1 card to one spirit you want to get a message from, and you might ask specific situation advice about specific situation. Just assign 1 situation to 1 card, or you can do it with more people. For example, message from my grandmother about my spiritual path, message from my grandpa about my love relationship advice, what should I need to know or to do, a message from my grandma on my mother's side about my me being lost and trying to find the way. How do I find the way? What do I need to know? Something like this. Do it anyhow you want. Just attach 1 card to 1 spirit, and either just let me tell you what that card means without attaching it to a specific situation, or attach 1 card to 1 spirit and to a specific situation. Just like that. Hope it makes sense. Asking the spirits of those who are no longer in the physical realm to answer the questions, the situations, to send the message to those who are very much wanting and needing those advices. Please give us advices, the answers, the messages to those who ask with gratitude. To my forehead, to my mouth, to my heart. I'm gonna hold it like this. And card message number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, Number 5. So, let us go. The message from the Spirit and a card number 1. What you need to know. Turning in the card number 4. If possible, please stop the video, and I want you to look very attentively at this woman. She is sitting in a meditative position. She has a very, very slight, faint smile on her face. She is looking very calm. She is not judging. She is not trying to stop anything, to force anything. She's just being calm and in the moment. She is in meditation. She's not saying anything, probably not chanting the mantras or repeating some affirmation. She's just calmly sitting there as if the mind belongs to someone else. So you are ready to take the distance now and to watch the show which is happening around you without getting caught up in any of that drama. Indulge yourself in the very simple freedom which is available to you of turning in whenever you can. Meditate. Turning in means turning inward. Going inward is not going anywhere at all. Turning inwards means that you have been running after this desire and that desire and this and that and this and that, and you have been running and running and running and running, and you have been coming again and again to frustration. Each desire brings misery. Please hear the message. Each desire brings misery, that there is no fulfillment through desire, that you never reach anywhere, that contentment is impossible. Seeing this truth, that running after desires takes you nowhere, will help you stop. Just make a little effort to stop. Stop running. Stop desiring. Just stop. If you are making an effort to go in, you are still going out. Try to do it freely, effortlessly, without an effort. All journeys are outward journeys. There is no inward journey. So how can you journey inward? You are already there. You are already the answer. There is no point in going. When all your running, desiring, wanting, goings stops, journeying disappears. When desiring is no more clouding your mind, this is it, you're in. This is called turning in. But it is not a turning at all. It is simply not going out. I will repeat it one more time. Turning in is not a turning at all. It is simply not going out. This is the answer, the message. For those of you who chose number 1 card, Spirit, number 2, answer number 2, projections, card number 7. I believe many of you, if not all, put this card as an advice about your relationship. Because what do you see? You see on this card the man and the woman facing each other. But unfortunately, they are not able to see each other clearly. Why? Because him and her, both, each is projecting an image they have constructed in their minds. And that image covering the real face of the person they are looking at. All of us can get caught up in projecting movies of our own making onto the situations, onto the people surrounding us. It happens when we are not fully aware of our expectations, not fully aware of our desires, and not fully aware of our judgments. So instead of taking responsibility for them and owning them, we try to attribute them to others. Projections can be both bad and good, devilish and divine, disturbing or comforting. But please understand, projection is still projection. It's a cloud that prevents us from seeing reality as it is. The only way out is to recognize the game. When you find a judgment arising about another, turn it around. Does what you see in others really belong to you? Is your vision clear or clouded? Do you see what is really there, or you see only what you want to see? Huh? When you go to the movie, you look at the screen and you never look at the back. And if you do look back in the movie theater, you will see the projector. The film is not there really on the screen. It is just a projection of shadow and light. Please hear these two words, shadow and light. The film exists just at the back, but you never look at that. But the projector is there. So your mind is at the back of the whole thing, your mind. And the mind is the projector. But you always look at the other because the other is the screen. When you're in love, the person seems beautiful, wonderful, awesome, great. When you hate, the person seems horrible, ugly, terrible. And you never become aware of how the same person can be the ugliest and the same person can be the most beautiful. So the only way for you to understand and see the truth is to learn how to be immediate in your vision. This agency of the mind is the problem, because mind can create only dreams. Through your excitements, the dream starts looking like reality. But even though it looks like reality, still it's not reality. If you are too excited, then you are intoxicated. Then you are not in your senses. Then whatsoever you see is your projection. And there are as many worlds as there are minds, because every mind lives in his own world. This is a message. Number 2. Spirit. Number 3. Card number 3. The message from the card number 3. Laziness. This card always makes me smile because you look at him. You see this man. He looks like he's sure he is very comfortable. He sits in his big chair, overstuffed with all kind of things, wearing his sunglasses. On the top of above it is an umbrella. Sunglasses, umbrella. Has this crazy little drink. Pink slippers, and probably is drinking like pina colada or something like this. He doesn't have the energy to get up or do anything, because he looks like he's pretty sure he's done it already. He hasn't yet turned to see the mirror cracking around him on his right. A sure sign that the place he thinks he's finally arrived at is about to shatter and dissolve before his eyes. The message of this card is very, very significant. The message this card brings is that this poolside resort is not his fine destination. The journey isn't over yet, honey. And that white bird flying, trying to show it to you. It's very, very tiny. It's right here. So, no matter how fuzzy the slippers, how tasty the pina colada or whatever he's drinking, there are skies upon skies still waiting to be explored. Be careful from stillness. Be careful with laziness. Sometimes it's useful for workaholics, but this is a different message here. When you are lazy, it is a negative taste. You simply feel that you have no energy. You feel you simply don't have any desire to even move. You feel dull. You may feel sleepy. You can even feel kind of dead. When you are in a state of non-doing, then you are full of energy. It is a positive state. You have full energy overflowing. You are radiant, bubbling, vibrant. You are not sleepy. You are aware, awaking. You're not dead. You're tremendously alive. So, there is a possibility the mind can deceive you. It can rationalize or laziness as non-doing. So you might have such thoughts. Maybe I have achieved nirvana, or I have become a Zen master, or I have achieved a certain state in my spirituality. But you are deceiving yourself. You are deceiving only yourself. So become alert. Become alert. Get back yourself full of energy. Get back you radiant. Get back you bubbling, inspiring, shining, vibrating. You are not sleepy. You must be perfectly aware that you are alive. Get out of the stage of laziness. Because if you stay motionless, actionless, in a good way, things are going to stay the same. In a bad way, things might get worse. Become alive. Become bubbling, radiant, and bright. The spirit number 4 and the answer from a card number 4. The rebel. I see this card too often. Major Arcana. Powerful. Such powerful figure. Power just sipping through this card. This is the Master. The Lord and the master of his own destiny. I love everything with an emblem of the sun, and here you see the emblem of the sun on his shoulder, and the torch, of course. And the torch is another symbol, of course, symbolizes the light of his own hard-won truth, the light of truth. So whether this person is wealthy or poor, the rebel is really an emperor, because he has broken the chains. He has broken the chains of everything which was chaining him. Wrong people, wrong beliefs, society repressive conditionings, opinions of other people. He has formed himself by embracing all the colors of a rainbow. That's why you see all the colors here. And he's like emerging from the dark. He's emerging from the dark and formless roots of his unconscious past, and growing wings to fly into the sky. His very way of being is rebellious. It is so much me. And he's rebellious not because he's fighting against anybody or against anything, but because he has discovered his own true nature and is determined to live in accordance with it. The eagle is his spirit animal, a messenger between earth and sky. Message of this card? I think it's clear. Be courageous enough to take responsibility for who you are and live your own truth. People are afraid. People are terrified and afraid of those who know themselves. People have a certain power, certain aura, certain magnetism, charisma that can take out alive young people from traditional ideas and imprisonment. Yes, those who try to bring new, bright shine, such people are being afraid of. So what? So what? You have power. You have aura. You have magnetism. You have charisma. Anything you touch become alive. You are burning the fire, sacred fire deep inside of you, and you can help others do it too. When you're enlightened, you cannot be enslaved and you cannot be imprisoned. Every genius who has known something of the inner is bound to be a little difficult to be observed. He's going to be an upsetting force. So what? The crowds, the masses don't want to be disturbed, even though they may be in misery. They are in misery, but they are all accustomed to the misery. So anyone who is not miserable looks like a stranger. Do not be afraid of that. This man, enlightened man, is a great stranger in the world. But he's free. And this is your spirit. You don't belong to anyone. You don't belong to organizations, society, rule, community, nation. You are the universe. You are the force. And you are here to show that each and every one has the force, but they must choose it to shine or to be living, keep on living in that misery. Rebel. This is a message. Number 4. The last card, number 5, message number 5. I already seen this card in my other readings, a ripeness. There is one simple truth about the fruits. The truth is when they become ripe, the condition of ripeness, when they become ripe, they fall. They drop from the tree without any force, without anyone taking them, but they just fall by themselves. So one moment you see them hanging by a thread on those branches. The next moment they fall, not because they've been forced to fall, but they simply fell because the tree has recognized its ripeness and simply let it go. When this card appears as a message, it tells you that you are ready to share the inner riches you have inside. Relax right where you are and be willing for it to happen. This sharing of yourself, this expression of your creativity, expression of your talents and creativity can come in many ways. In your work, relationship, everyday life experiences. You don't need no special preparation or efforts. It is the right time. Only if your meditation has brought you a light that shines in every night will even death not be a death to you, but a door to the divine. Your heart is full of light. With the light in your heart, death itself is transformed into a door, and you enter into the universal spirit. You become one with the ocean, one with the sky and clouds. And unless you know the oceanic experience, you have lived in vain. Now is always the time. Now is always the time, and the fruit is always ripe. You just need to get the courage to enter in your inner forest. The fruit is always ripe, and the time is always the right time, because there is no such thing as time, and there is no such thing as a wrong time. The time for you is now. This is all, my beautiful souls. I hope you got your answers. Thank you, spirits, for giving us those answers. Thank you for listening. Namaste.